Hello, and thank you for tuning in to KPC News. I'm James Buckley.
And I'm Hannah Thurman.
Our top stories tonight include deregulations on Obama-era environmental policies and also President Trump potentially pulling troops out of Syria. But first, Hannah has more information on the shooting at YouTube.
Following the shooting at the YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California, some congressmen are yet again calling for gun reform. The Washington Post reported that 3 people were shot and 1 injured while fleeing, but not hurt by gunfire. The identified shooter is Nasim Aghdam. Her father warned police that she was angry with YouTube and that she had been missing for several days prior to the shooting. President Trump responded by saying, "Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody involved. Thank you to our phenomenal law enforcement officers and first responders that are currently on the scene." Rokana, who represents Silicon Valley, California, tweeted that we need laws that allow the police to take guns away from an individual who may do harm to themselves and the community when their own family members report that threat.
On Tuesday, Special Counsel Robert Mueller and his team were able to get their first sentencing in the ongoing Russia investigation. According to Politico, the Special Counsel had sentenced Dutch lawyer Alex van der Zwaan to 30 days in prison after pleading guilty to lying to the FBI in February. Van der Zwaan had lied about not having contact with former Trump campaign official Rick Gates, Russian intelligence operative Konstantin Kilimnik, and Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort, who all have worked with each other during the 2016 campaign. Van der Zwaan also has a $20,000 fine and 2 months probation on top of the prison sentence.
CNN reported that Trump cabinet officials gathered on Tuesday to discuss immigration, border security, and the construction of a border wall. There was discussion on using government money approved for the Pentagon on the construction of the border wall. Mexico's foreign minister said in a statement released Monday night that its authorities have offered some refuge and protection measures to the caravan, and that roughly 400 of the participants in the caravan have already been removed from Mexico back to their home countries. Fox News reported that the Defense Department is offering U.S. Navy ships to patrol the waters to seize drugs, as well as missions involving over 100 personnel to help Border Patrol. Administration and border officials say that the wall will cost around $20 to $25 billion.
And in response to the proposed U.S. tariffs on Tuesday, China announced new tariffs of their own on many high-value U.S. products worth up to $50 billion, equal to the amount that the U.S. is taxing on China. The major products being taxed by China are soybeans, commercial jets, and SUVs, among others. According to the Wall Street Journal, China is implementing these tariffs mainly to hurt America now, as the tariffs proposed by the Trump administration were aimed to hurt China's economic future. Many economists fear that with these tariffs from China and the U.S. in place, a full-blown trade war is becoming more realistic. The first tariffs to go into effect will be the U.S.'s on May 22nd. After the Chinese tariffs were announced, China's Vice Finance Minister Zhu Guangyao stated to reporters that the tariffs will be put into place unless both sides can reach a fair agreement in negotiations.
The chief of Environmental Protection Agency, Scott Pruitt, announced on Tuesday his plan to weaken President Obama's rules on tailpipe emissions. The New York Times reported that Pruitt's proposal isn't receiving much discussion, but rather he is caught up in allegations of impropriety. Last year, he rented a room in Washington from the wife of a lobbyist. He has also faced criticism on his first-class air travel over the past year at taxpayer expense. Earlier in the year, he was reprimanded by the White House after documents showed he had spent more than $107,000 in taxpayer money for air travel. According to a White House administration official, President Trump told Pruitt to keep his head up, keep fighting, and that they have his back.
After recent reports that British data analytics company Cambridge Analytica wrongly obtained 50 million Facebook users' information came out, ABC News reported on Wednesday that that number has increased to 87 million profiles. Facebook conducted an internal investigation to find out the true number of profiles affected, along with implementing new plans and policies to limit data sharing in the future. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg will testify before the House Energy and Commerce Committee on April 11th to discuss how Cambridge Analytica obtained the information. The biggest worry is what Cambridge used the information for, as they did work for the Trump campaign in 2016. However, the Trump campaign has stated that they used RNC voter data instead of Cambridge Analytica's data.
In local news, the Kansas City Star reported that Governor Greitens of Missouri is asking a Missouri House committee to delay the release of a report detailing its findings until after his criminal trial is complete. There are concerns that these findings could taint the potential jury pool. Greitens' attorney said that the governor is willing to provide testimony to the committee, as well as all the necessary documentation, discovery, depositions, and other key information. This is following the indictment from a grand jury in February of Greitens on a felony charge of invasion of privacy. He's accused of taking a nude photo of a woman in 2015 when the two were having an affair. The woman said that Greitens threatened to release the photo if she ever spoke publicly about the relationship.
And finally, earlier this morning, the Washington Post reported that President Trump plans to begin a withdrawal plan for the 2,000 U.S. troops in Syria. The plan has no deadlines as of yet, but Trump did state that until U.S. forces are withdrawn, they will mainly focus on training local Syrian law enforcement in order to help Syria be self-secured after U.S. departures. The White House released a statement on the matter saying, quote, "We will continue to consult with our allies and friends regarding future plans. We expect countries in the region and beyond, plus the United Nations, to work toward peace and ensure that ISIS will never reemerges." While the announcement is a big step forward in cutting back U.S. involvement, the Post also reported that many senior military officials still see a need for U.S. involvement in Syria. Without set dates for withdrawal, though, there could be time for President Trump to change plans if needed.
That's all we have for you this week. Thank you for watching KPC News, and be sure to watch out for our podcast analyzing this week's events on Friday. Until then, I'm Hannah Thurman.
And I'm James Buckley.
We'll see you next week.